stand and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Shirley, would you call the roll, please?
Dean Cruz.
Here.
Malinowski.
Here.
Ball. Here. Walker.
Here.
Stady.
Here.
Brian Cruz.
Here.
Lachinsky.
Here.
Okay, on the consent agenda for tonight, we have item A, minutes of the special, let's do the meeting agenda first. My bad. On the meeting agenda for tonight, we have under department and committee reports, item A is operations services. You have the report in your packet. Item B is the sewer report. Again, you have that in your packet from the city. Item C is the Downtown Development Authority and the Director's Report, which is in your packet. Item D, Board of Review is not met. Item E, the Building and Grounds Committee. Those minutes are in your packet for the May meeting. Item F, the Planning Commission minutes from May are in your packet. Item G, the Zoning Administrator's Report is in your packet. H, the Personnel Committee. We have two items to approve there. A would be consideration of approval of the Personnel Committee's recommendation to increase the hourly wage of Paul Olin, maintenance, effective June 1st of 2023. And item B, consideration of approval of the Personnel Committee's recommendation to increase the hourly wage of Tammy Shimke, Secretary and Water Billing and Sewer Billing Clerk, effective July 1st of 2023. Item I, Elections Commission, did not meet last month. Item J is the Fire Department report, which I believe is in your packet. Item K, the Zoning Board of Appeals did not meet last month, and neither did item L, PEG Committee. Under new business tonight, we have item A, consideration of approval of new business activity letter for the zoning department. Item B is consideration of approval of the Charter Township of Filer disposal of equipment policy. Item C is consideration of approval for basement lights at the Township Hall. Item D is consideration of approval of a resolution to submit the MDNR Spark Grant application for Oak Hill Park and to commit matching funds. Item E is consideration of approval for gravel from Carl's Excavating for Magoon Creek Park. And we have an addendum item which should be on your desk in front of you, and that is item F, consideration of opinion regarding reference/transaction for the Bungalow Inn Incorporated. And if there are no other additions or changes to the meeting agenda for tonight, we need a motion for approval.
I'll second.
Motion by Dean Cruz, second by Steggy. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Under the consent agenda for tonight, we have item A, minutes of the special meeting and the public hearing, which took place on May 25th, 2023. Item B are the financial reports. Item C is approval of the Township General Fund expenditures, including the fire department. Those checks are numbered 40581 through 40666. Accounts payable total $106,958.61. Payroll totals $19,813.60. The grand total is $126,772.21. Item D is approval of water department expenditures. Those checks are numbered 3092 through 3104, and they total $140,769.90. Item E is approval of the sewer operating expenditures, and those checks are numbered 1198. And they total $32.38. Item F is approval of the monthly ACH payments to the state of Michigan and IRS in the amount of $3,154.10. Item G is approval for a budget amendment to transfer $50,000 from fund balance of the general fund to roads. Item H is approval of $1,900 for the annual Michigan Townships Association Premium Online Learning Plan. And again, if there are no changes to the consent agenda for tonight, I'd entertain a motion for approval.
I'll make the motion.
I'll support.
Motion by Kolonowski, second by Brian Cruz to approve the consent agenda for tonight. Any discussion? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Public comment. Any public comment tonight? Okay. Moving into department and committee reports then, again, your report from Operations Services is included in your packet, of the monthly activities that have taken place and the water pumped. Likewise, item B, the sewer report is in your packet. All of the inspections proved okay this month, and the flows seem to be pretty consistent with recent months. Item C, the Downtown Development Authority meeting minutes are in your packet, as well as the director's report. D, like I said, the Board of Review did not meet in the past month. E, Building and Grounds minutes, committee minutes are in your packet. And item F, the Planning Commission minutes are also in your packet. Item G, Larry's monthly report is in your packet. And then item H, the Personnel Committee. We do have two recommendations from the Personnel Committee. Item A being the recommendation to increase the hourly wage of Paul Olin, our maintenance man, effective June 1st, 2023. And while the amount is not listed there, it is in your packet.
It was 3%.
And yes, it was 3%, and it would show
54 cents.
54 cents in pay increase, hourly increase. So we need a motion to act on that.
Also move. I'll support.
Motion by Dean Cruz, second by Brian Cruz to approve the wage increase for Paul Olin as recommended by the Personnel Committee. Any discussion? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Item B is the Personnel Committee's recommendation to increase the hourly wage of our secretary / water and sewer billing clerk, effective July 1st of 2023. And that recommendation was also at 3%, which equates to 65 cents per hour.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Motion by Kolonowski, second by Stege to approve the Personnel Committee's recommendation for the wage increase for Tammy Shemke. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Okay. Like I said, there was no Elections Commission meeting. Item J, the Fire Department's report is in your packet. And you can see the number of calls that they've been on for the month of May was 30. And those are, as Jim pointed out, totaling up quite rapidly for the year. Jim, is there anything else you wanted to add to your report?
No, I don't think so, not this time. Other than we've been extremely good with that 30 runs for the month, that's now 45 runs for the month, so we're now up to like 160 or 156 runs for the year, so we've been extremely good. Just a reminder that we are in a burn ban right now. Fire danger is extremely high without any rain, so there is no open burning anywhere, other than a cooking fire in a fire pit. I would recommend that anybody that has any type of fire in a fire pit, that they make sure that they're there the entire time, they have a hose available, and make sure that's out before they go to bed. So, we got a call last night at midnight for a fire that was nothing, but it was somebody lit off a charcoal grill and somebody saw all the flames and called it, so. We had a grass fire yesterday, where somebody decided that was a good day, nice day to light off of all the twigs and branches that they collected over the summer, over the winter. Not a smart move, so. Just a reminder that we are in a no-burn ban right now.
So from what Jim has reported here, just in the first 6 days of June, there's been 15 runs, which equals the total for the whole month of May, right?
Yeah, pretty much. That was, it's everything. It's just been crazy. So.
Okay, thank you. Okay, that takes us to new business, and item A is consideration of approval of the new business activity letter for the zoning department, and you have that letter in your packet. Something that Larry can send out right away upon notice of any new activity. So we should approve that letter, use of that letter, and I would entertain a motion for such.
So moved.
Support.
Motion by Hachinsky, second by Brian Cruz to approve the new business activity letter for the zoning department. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Item B is consideration of approval of the Charter Township of Filer disposal of equipment policy, and that policy is in your packet. And Shirley, do you want to just highlight any changes there?
Well, Alex reworked this, adding in the language to cover the items that would be fire department related, that would not be of use or interest to the general public. Those could be pulled out and the board could waive the requirements for the sealed bid process.
So
Number one.
that was number one, and that's pretty much the only change in there.
Yes, that's the only change. The rest of it was deemed okay.
I'll make the
We had
motion.
left over from the 5 items that were $2,100.
Yeah, I
Took
think,
care of
I think everything went.
Took care of it. I think.
I'm not aware of anything
I
that
haven't
was
heard
left, Brian.
anything that there's, there's been difficulty getting a hold of anybody.
No, I'm talking about what was left that wasn't bid on.
Oh, well, that would be up to Terry to, do the disposal, so there'd be your.
Yeah, I haven't, I've been in the garage down there, but didn't didn't really look per se. I was looking more at our equipment.
I was just wondering what it's gonna cost us to get rid of that stuff now. What having that sealed bid versus someone just coming up and buying it.
Yes, I'm gonna have to look into that, Brian.
Shouldn't be anything left.
There's some windows left and some other stuff.
He's
Oh, yeah,
thinking
there was a couple.
Those things that weren't bid on.
And there's a lot.
Yeah, and then the policy calls off, you know, what the next steps are.
I'll check to see what was left, Brian, and what we need to do next. Maybe another revision. Okay, item C is consideration
So
of,
do we need to vote on this?
oh yes, we didn't vote, I'm sorry.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, we got a motion, is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, motion by Kolonowski, second by Brian Cruz to approve the disposal of equipment policy. Any other discussion on that? Okay, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Item C is consideration of approval for basement lights at the Township Hall. And you do have that bid in your packet from McDougal Electric.
So the price is the same, it's just different style lights, whether it's proposal A or proposal B.
Yeah, right. Both proposals have the same dollar figure, $3,395.95.
What's all down there, just the furnace and the hot water heater and stuff like that, right?
No, that's actually a separate room. The furnace room, hot water heater and all that is in a separate room, and the lights are working there. But previously, the only lights that were working were in the front room down there, right when you come in the door, those lights worked. But the lights in the back part of the room, to the northeast, didn't work. Which we don't have much of anything there. The front, most of the stuff we have down there in the front room, but then when you get back into the part where the TKS security system is to view video and whatnot, those lights were working before, but they are no longer, and so when Tammy was down there to check anything on the video, she's in the dark back there. So we need to get that taken care of.
Is there video or is there security cameras working all over?
As far as I know.
As far as I know they are. I've got to check with Tammy on how far back she can go, because I know she had some issues recently with that, and I know, I don't know if it was 2 or 3 years ago, we had an issue with it, and they came up and took care of it.
Well, don't we have an issue at the Nelson Street office with the camera when we had in the report you had the money missing and?
Yeah, that showed, that was inside. We don't have cameras inside. That only, the cameras there, it's just like here, the cameras are on the outside of the building. Inside are just motion detectors when the system is armed to send a signal. But as far as cameras inside the building, we don't have any here or there.
Well, I see where Larry reimbursed the township township with his personal check to cover the loss.
Yeah,
Did you call the insurance carrier on that?
no, I did not. No.
Does he have a drawer there that he can lock up?
Not that I'm aware of. Typically what he does, if he, what he does or should do is at the end of the day, if he has, cash collected, he drops it off to Tammy to put in the safe. And evidently, from what I understand, that day when he did that, the money was gone. Now, I don't know more details on that, Tom, other than that. But as far as we should be able to collect that, I would think, from the insurance.
We probably have a deductible.
Pardon me?
We probably have a deductible. It's probably,
Yeah, the deductible might be more than, well, yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. I know.
We don't know, we've never had that happen.
Yeah, I know when I lost my cell phone 6, 7, 8 years ago on MTA business, it was paid for, which really surprised me. And I don't believe there was a deductible on it at that time. So I'll have to, I guess, make a call to Adam Gandolfi and find out about that.
I'll make a motion to accept that bid of $3,395.95 for proposal A.
I'll support his motion.
Okay, motion by Brian Cruz, second by Hachinsky to approve the quote from McDougal Electric in the amount of $3,395.95. And you said for proposal A? Okay, discussion? And can I ask why you selected proposal A?
I looked over A and B and I don't see much difference. And
Yeah, I don't either.
the size of the lights a little bit,
Yeah,
but that's it.
4s versus 8s.
Different brand.
Yeah, and that was my thing in looking through it. I thought I'm not gonna select a brand because I don't know enough about it and leave that to this.
McDougal left it
Discretion
as
of-
either or,
Yeah, okay.
no price difference. So
Yeah, right.
I really don't even know why we got two, proposal A and B. Should have just got the one, but
Yeah, that's the way he
drew it up.
presented it, so, okay.
Well, B has more lumens.
More lumens and B's, but less light on it.
Like color.
I'm glad to see that the different contractors now are bidding on different things that we put up. We used the one out Magoon Creek, and then the guy that put these here up, they're all 3 different
Yeah.
contractors, so
Yeah.
glad to see that.
Yeah, and it's sometimes hard to get bids and, yeah. Okay, if there's no other discussion, Shirley, want to do a roll call on that?
Okay. Kalinowski,
Yes.
Dean Cruz,
Yes.
Stady, Brian Cruz,
Yes.
Walker,
Yes.
Ball, yes, Kaczynski.
Yes.
Okay, item D is consideration of approval of a resolution to submit the Michigan DNR Spark Grant application for Oak Hill Park and commit matching funds, and you have that resolution in front of you with the key things highlighted there. And the Spark Grant application is in the amount of $900,000. and the matching amount from the township is at 10% or $100,000. No, I'm sorry, the application actually is $1 million estimated project cost. So, yeah, that's all in one resolution, so that gives the go-ahead for the application and then the commitment of $100,000 from the township.
I make a motion that we adopt the resolution for authorization for a Michigan Spark Grant.
I'll support it.
Motion by Huchinsky, second by Brian Cruz, to approve resolution to submit MDNR Spark Grant application for Oak Hill Park and to commit matching funds. Any discussion? Okay, Shirley, you want to call the roll, please?
Steggy,
Yes,
Ball, yes, Kalinowski,
Yes.
Brian Cruz,
Yes.
Hachinsky,
Yes.
Walker,
Yes.
Dean Cruz.
yes,
Okay, item E is consideration of approval for gravel from Carl's Excavating at Magoon Creek. And you've got that in front of you on your desk. This kind of came up in somewhat of a hurry, so we didn't actually get a bid per se from Scott, but in talking with him, he said he would be looking at the same amount of gravel as last year. But he said the cost, he told me what the cost had gone up on a per ton basis, and I said, well, that sounds like about 11%, and he said, yep. And so I said, well, let's just take and we'll figure 12% to be safe. And so we took last year's, you recall last year we did the same thing at Magoon, getting the gravel from Fisher's in Wellston, and then Scott moves it and grades it. So we took basically the bid from last year that we got from him, and we increased everything by 12%, bringing the total to $4,449.20.
what to do.
Well, we need to do this. I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Motion by Kalinowski, second by Steggy, to approve Carl's Excavating's bid for gravel at Magoon Creek in the amount of $4,449.20. Discussion? And just to kind of fill you in on this, why this kind of got accelerated here, we were talking about this, but you've already approved the paving at the entrance to Magoon, as well as the entrance and parking area at Sunling. And Scott Brown is going to have to do some work with, gravel at the entrance there at Magoon to meet the road commission's requirements for tying into Red Apple Road there. And so we figured, well, we better get this done first, so that Scott Brown is not going to run into other issues when he gets there to pave. So that's why we kind of put this on the fast track. So any discussion on this?
It needs a, I was out there.
Yeah. And I think this will be the third year that we've done this, and it's in better shape now than it was 4 or 5 years ago. It was really, really bad. The washboard of the road, pretty much throughout. Now it's pretty much in the S curve that before you hit the washboard, but it is much better. Okay. Shirley, you want to do another roll call on this?
Okay. Kalinowski,
Yes.
Stady,
Yes.
Walker,
Yes.
Brian Cruz,
Yes.
Kaczynski,
Yeah.
Dean Cruz,
Yes.
Ball, yes.
Okay, item F is the addendum item, consideration of opinion regarding reference / transaction for the Bungalow Inn Incorporated, which is in front of you.
That's
What are we-
what, that's what I
Yeah,
was getting.
it's,
Huh?
You don't approve anything, but if you want to reply to it in any fashion, this is your chance.
yeah, we can, we always have that option
House
to,
was gonna have
Yeah,
the,
yeah, yes.
you'll get Nolan's taken over and he'll get the liquor license, and if we have any objections to that, we just have to voice with the Liquor Control Commission, which there haven't been any issues, so. The last liquor license we went through a few years ago, we did go through
There's
the,
a lot of new stuff, additions.
yeah, a lot of changes in it,
This license isn't, right? It's
No.
just a transfer.
just to transfer as is, yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, public comment. Any public comment? Any other business to come before the board tonight? Tom, you got anything tonight?
Nothing,
No? Brian?
nothing.
Tom?
have we heard anything more on the Hamlet project?
As a matter of fact, that was a topic of discussion at DDA today, this afternoon. We did get an email from John Boonstra. It was last week, I don't recall which day now, last week, and then with some different options for financing. That's the biggest, been the biggest holdup, is the exploration of financing for the project. And anyway, he came back with a number of different options, several different options, and then I sent that, Tamara and I both got that, we talked about it a little bit, and then I forwarded that email from Boonstra to Richard Wilson to take a look at, to give any input that he had, or feedback, which was a real quick turnaround, and there's a lot to consider there. So anyway, that was Tamara and Bob Yates and I met this afternoon at 3:30 to talk about that for future follow-up on that, how we're going to proceed with that. And it was, discussion at DDA was kind of centered on that, and consensus was that we're going to have, I'm going to get back with Richard with a few questions. Tamara's going to get back with Boonstra to inquire about another option that we thought was going to be presented, that being the land bank, which wasn't one of his options that he listed there. And then we had some questions on some of the other options that Richard brought up. So, and DDA is also going to have Olson, or BizDoc rather, BizDoc take a look at it and give some feedback, and then we talked about potentially having a joint meeting in the future between the two boards, DDA and the Township Board, and after we get more input from the attorneys and some more feedback from Boonstra, to kind of decide on a direction, I guess. So yeah, that's all, just like I said, it's just been the last, I think it was Thursday last week that he came in, Wednesday or Thursday. So it's been a real quick turnaround, and there was a lot to look at in terms of his options. So, and I'd be happy to share that with any of you if you want to print it out on a big sheet, because it's standard size paper. It was kind of hard to look at and compare the different options, so.
Well, if you have that, if you want to leave it here, then if
It's-
anybody comes in, they can see it.
Yeah, and I've got it, it's in Tammy's office right
Okay.
now. So, but that's, you know, kind of premature yet, because we want to get a little more feedback on a couple of those options that we took from legal, and then also try to get a couple questions answered from Boonstra to help us narrow it down.
Okay.
That it, Tom? Okay, Shirley, you got anything? Dale? Dean? No? Okay. I don't have anything else for tonight. So with that, motion for adjournment.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Motion by Brian Cruz, second by Dean Cruz to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting adjourned.